Success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every single day when no one's watching. Every day, the world throws noise, distraction, and demands at your door. Most people spend their lives reacting, but the ones who rise, the ones who break through, are those who train their mind, body, and spirit like a soldier daily. You don't win in the arena by luck. You win by preparation, repetition, and consistency. These are not things you work on once a week. These are the 10 things you must work on every single day. Because your future is hidden in your daily routine. Your mindset is the control center of your life, and mastering it must become a daily deliberate practice. Because every thought you entertain is either building you or breaking you, pushing you forward or pulling you back. You don't get to ignore your mindset and expect success to show up anyway. The truth is, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And if your internal dialogue is filled with doubt, fear, comparison, or self-sabotage, it doesn't matter how much talent or opportunity you have, you'll find a way to lose. That's why every morning, before the day takes hold of you, you must take hold of your thoughts. Ask yourself, what am I focusing on today? Fear or faith? Limitations or possibilities? Because whatever you choose to dwell on will shape the energy you walk with, the decisions you make, and the future you build. Your mindset is not some fixed trait you're born with. It's a muscle, and it grows stronger or weaker depending on what you feed it. If you constantly rehearse failure in your mind, you'll hesitate when opportunity knocks. If you replay every past mistake, you'll rob yourself of future confidence. But if you train yourself to see challenges as growth, failure as feedback, and effort as progress, you begin rewiring your brain for resilience, grit, and forward momentum. This isn't about toxic positivity or ignoring life's hardships. It's about choosing your response with power and clarity. You can't always control your circumstances, but you can always control your perspective, and that's where your true strength lies. The most successful people in the world didn't get there because they never had doubt. They got there because they learned to talk back to it. They developed the discipline to filter their thoughts, challenge their assumptions, and speak life into themselves even when things didn't look good on the outside. Every day, you are either conditioning your mind for greatness or surrendering it to mediocrity. So, be intentional. Speak affirmations that align with your goals. Visualize the version of you that already overcame what you're currently facing. Stop waiting for confidence to appear. Build it brick by brick with the thoughts you repeat. Remember, the voice you hear the most is your own, so make sure it's a voice of strength, clarity, and purpose. This is the mindset work you do in silence, when no one is clapping, when the pressure is high, and when the results are slow. But if you do it consistently, everything begins to change, because you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, and what you are starts in your mind. Discipline is the invisible bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be, and it has nothing to do with how you feel. It's rooted in the choices you make when the mood is gone, when no one's watching, and when every excuse feels justified. Too many people wait for motivation to strike like lightning, but winners understand that motivation is fleeting, while discipline is a commitment. It's a promise to yourself that you will show up whether you're tired, uninspired. Discipline says, I will do it anyway. It's in the alarm clock you don't hit snooze on. The workout you do when your body says rest. The task you complete when your mind says delay. Discipline is the difference between dabbling and mastering, between wishing and winning. It's what separates those who talk about goals from those who become them. Every day, you must create structure that supports your vision. Because if you don't design your day, distraction will design it for you. It's not just about working hard. It's about working on the right things consistently, even when progress is slow or invisible. Discipline means managing your time like it's sacred, because it is. It means saying no to what doesn't serve your growth and yes to what stretches your potential. It means finishing what you start, not half building bridges and wondering why you never reach the other side. The truth is, success isn't some magical outcome. It's built brick by brick with small, repeated actions, fueled by discipline, not desire. And the more you practice discipline, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, it grows under pressure and through repetition. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack the discipline to be consistent. They let temporary feelings dictate long-term outcomes. But you can't build anything great if you keep quitting every time it gets uncomfortable. The dream is free, but the grind is sold separately. And the currency is daily discipline. Champions train daily, not when it's convenient. They don't just work when it feels good. They work until it gets good. That's how mastery is born. Discipline makes your actions louder than your words and your habits louder than your intentions. It turns potential into progress and routine into results. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling and start building the habits that will carry you through every storm. Choose to be the kind of person who follows through. Choose to be the one who shows up, regardless of the mood, the weather, or the noise. Because when you live with discipline, you no longer need to chase success. Success starts chasing you. Your health is the foundation upon which every dream, every goal, and every ambition rests. And yet, it's often the first thing we neglect in the pursuit of success. Forgetting that without a strong body, a sharp mind, and sustained energy, nothing else holds. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It's the vehicle that carries your purpose, your potential, and your power. And if you don't fuel it properly, move it daily, and treat it with respect, it will eventually betray you. No matter how hard you hustle, you can have the best mindset, the sharpest strategy, and all the ambition in the world. But if your body is running on fumes, if you're surviving on sugar, caffeine, and stress, you're setting yourself up for burnout, not breakthrough. Health is wealth in disguise, because it doesn't scream for attention until it's already slipping away, and by then your energy is low, your clarity is gone, and your days are ruled by fatigue instead of fire. That's why every day you must make your health a priority, not a project you revisit when it's convenient. Move your body, not to punish it, but to honor it. Stretch, lift, run, walk, dance. Do something that reminds your system it's alive and made for motion. Hydrate like your brain depends on it, because it does. Eat not just for pleasure, but with intention, choosing foods that fuel your mission, not just your cravings. Sleep like your life depends on it, because recovery is the real secret weapon of high performers. You can't think clearly, lead powerfully, or create effectively when your system is inflamed, undernourished, or exhausted. And don't be fooled by the myth that you can sacrifice your health in your younger years and catch up later. Your body keeps score of everything. Every skipped workout, every sleepless night, every poor food choice, it compounds. But so does every good one. One healthy meal leads to another. One walk turns into a habit. One glass of water turns into hydration. And slowly, without fanfare, your energy starts to rise, your mood lifts, your focus sharpens, and your confidence returns. Not because you did something massive, but because you chose to show up for your body one day at a time. Your health is not a luxury, it's a responsibility. And if you ignore it now, you'll be forced to make time for illness later. But if you protect it now, it will carry you through the storms of life, the long nights, the big stages, and the weight of your calling. Success demands stamina. Dreams require durability. And energy is the real edge in a world that never stops moving. So make your health your daily discipline, not just for how you look, but for how you live. Because a strong body houses a strong mind, and together they build a life that lasts. In today's world, where distraction is a constant predator, and your attention is the most valuable asset you own, protecting your focus is no longer optional. It's survival, and every single day you must treat it like sacred currency, because your life truly does move in the direction of what you repeatedly give your attention to. Focus is the gateway to mastery, to results, to clarity, and yet we give it away so cheaply. To every notification, every scroll, every headline, every drama that doesn't deserve 5 seconds of our time, let alone 5 hours of our energy. And the danger is not just in what you're doing, it's in what you're missing. Every time you shift your attention to something meaningless, you rob your dreams of momentum. That's why the most successful people in the world aren't the busiest, they're the most focused. They understand that attention is power. And what you focus on grows, while what you ignore withers. Focus isn't just about saying yes to productivity. It's about learning to say no with strength. No to distractions. No to time wasters. No to urgency that isn't aligned with purpose. It's about protecting your mental real estate from being squatted on by things that don't move your mission forward. Every morning you wake up, you must decide, what deserves my attention today? What is the main thing I must make progress on? And how will I guard my mind from being pulled in 1,000 directions that leave me feeling busy but empty? Because the truth is, distraction feels like movement, but it leads nowhere. Focus feels like discipline, but it creates momentum. You have to learn to control your inputs, what you listen to, what you read, who you surround yourself with, and how often you allow your mind to be hijacked by things that don't align with your highest. Create a space for deep work. Block out time for the things that matter. Turn off the noise, not just from devices, but from people, patterns, and habits that scatter your energy. Focus is a skill, and like any skill, it gets sharper with practice and duller with neglect. It starts with self-awareness. Are you being reactive or intentional? Are you choosing your thoughts or letting them run wild? Are you guarding your attention or giving it away to every shiny thing that pops up? Focus is the difference between doing 100 things poorly and doing 3 things with excellence. And the people who move the needle in this world, the ones who build legacies instead of just resumes, are those who learn to keep the main thing, every single day, without apology. Because in a world built to steal your attention, reclaiming it is an act of power. And once you learn to harness it, focus becomes your superpower, cutting through chaos, silencing the noise, and pointing all your energy like a laser toward what truly matters. Your focus is the most valuable currency you possess in a world designed to steal it, scatter it, and sell it back to you in the form of empty stimulation. And every single day, you must guard it like your future depends on it, because it does. We live in an age where distraction is not just common, it's engineered. Algorithms are built to hijack your attention. Notifications are crafted to interrupt your flow, and comparison is just one scroll away from derailing your peace, your productivity, and your progress. That's why focus has become a rare superpower, a discipline that few master but everyone needs, because without it, your energy leaks your time evaporates, and your purpose gets lost in a sea of noise. Focus isn't just about staring at a screen for hours or grinding harder. It's about clarity, direction, and the courage to ignore what doesn't matter. It's about waking up with intention and asking, what truly deserves my attention today? And then ruthlessly eliminating everything else. Focus means controlling your inputs, what you watch, what you listen to, who you allow in your mental space. Because every input becomes fuel or fog. And most people are running on mental junk food. Focus requires silence, stillness, and space. Things our modern world tries to convince you are unnecessary, but they're where breakthroughs are born. Every time you silence the noise, you give your mind the chance to lock in, to go deep, to create, to solve, to lead. And the deeper your focus, the higher your quality of work, of thought, of impact. You have to understand, your goals don't die from a lack of potential. They die from a lack of focus. Distraction is the slow killer of dreams, because it makes you busy without making you better. It makes you tired without making you effective. And the tragedy is that most people don't even realize it's happening. They confuse movement with momentum and activity with accomplishment. But you, if you want to rise, if you want to lead, if you want to live on purpose, you must train your mind to zero in on what matters most. You must build habits that protect your time and routines that lock you into flow, that boundaries around your focus like you would around a vault of gold, because that's what it is, gold, in a world drowning in noise and thirsting for clarity. Focus isn't natural, it's intentional. And it's built daily in the quiet moments when you choose to stay on task, to ignore the ping, to say no to the unnecessary so you can say yes to excellence. Keep the main thing, every day without compromise. Because the person who learns to master their focus is the one who stops being pulled by the world and starts pulling the world toward their vision. Focus makes you unstoppable, not because you do more, but because you do what matters better than anyone else. Your emotions are powerful forces that shape your thoughts, decisions, actions, and ultimately your destiny. And if you don't take time every single day to check in with yourself, to observe, to understand, and to manage what you're feeling, then your emotions will control you instead of you controlling them, silently sabotaging your progress while you wonder why things keep slipping through your hands. Unchecked emotions are like wild horses. They may have energy and intensity, but without direction, they'll run you into chaos, ruin relationships, and wreck opportunities you were perfectly qualified for. That's why emotional mastery isn't just a soft skill. It's survival, it's leadership, it's wisdom in action. You must build the habit of pausing before you respond, especially when you're triggered, because the space between stimulus and response is where your power lives. Are you reacting out of fear, anger, insecurity? Or are you responding from clarity, confidence, and calm? That question alone, asked consistently, will change your life. Emotional maturity is not about suppressing how you feel. It's about being so aware of your feelings that they don't dictate your actions without permission. It's about being able to name your emotions, own them, and redirect them with purpose. Because when you're unaware, emotions make decisions for you. Decisions to quit too soon, to lash out, to doubt yourself, to chase approval, to self-sabotage. And you don't even realize it until the damage is done. But when you build the muscle of emotional intelligence through daily self-awareness, you start to recognize patterns. And in recognizing patterns, you reclaim power. You start to notice when fear is disguising itself as logic, when impatience is masking itself as ambition, when ego is speaking louder than truth. That level of awareness gives you the edge because it allows you to show up with composure when others fold under pressure. It allows you to stay grounded in chaos, to lead with empathy, to communicate with depth, and to keep your head clear when the world gets loud. You must learn to observe your emotions without becoming them, because the goal is not to be emotionless. The goal is to be emotionally masterful. That means checking in with yourself every day and asking, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling it? Is it true? Is it useful? And most importantly, who do I want to be in this moment? That level of emotional discipline is what separates people who are easily manipulated by their environment from those who shape it. Your ability to rise in life is directly tied to your ability to regulate your internal state, because the storm outside matters far less than the storm inside. So train your emotions like you train your body, daily, deliberately, and with care. Mastering your emotions isn't just about being calm under pressure. It's about becoming unshakable, making decisions with clarity, and showing up as the best version of yourself, no matter what life throws your way. Master your emotions, and you master your life. Your vision is the internal compass that directs your energy, your decisions, and your discipline. And without it, even the hardest work can become aimless, tiring, and ultimately unfulfilling. Because it's not just about motion, it's about meaningful motion. And that only comes from knowing where you're going and why you want to get there. That's why you must remind yourself every single day of your vision, why you started, what you're building, and who you're becoming in the process. Because in the fog of routine, it's dangerously easy to forget. Life has a way of pulling you into autopilot, where you go through the motions, check off tasks, and stay busy without making true progress. And that's when burnout creeps in. Not from working too hard, but from losing sight of the purpose behind the effort. Your vision is what fuels you on the days motivation is nowhere to be found. It's what helps you say no to good things so you can stay available for the right things. It's what gives your pain a purpose and your sacrifice a meaning. That's why you must revisit your goals regularly. Not just once a year, not just when things go wrong, but daily, because every day you are either feeding your vision or forgetting it. Visualization isn't some fluffy feel-good exercise, it's mental conditioning. When you visualize the outcome, when you see the finish line before you take the first step, your brain starts aligning your actions to match that picture. You move with more confidence, more clarity, more conviction. You make better decisions because they're filtered through a clear destination. When your vision is strong, distractions lose their grip, because anything that doesn't align becomes an obvious no. You stop chasing everything and you start building something, but clarity doesn't just happen. You have to create it, nurture it, protect it. That means writing your goals down, speaking them out loud, surrounding yourself with reminders of what matters, reflecting not just on what you want, but why it matters to you. Because the moment you lose sight of your vision is the moment your actions lose impact. Every time you doubt yourself, return to your vision. Every time the path gets hard, return to your vision. Every time the routine feels dull, return to your vision. Your future isn't created by accident. It's shaped by what you consistently keep in front of your eyes. The clearer your vision, the stronger your decisions, the faster your progress, and the deeper your resilience. So don't let your vision collect dust. Don't bury it under busyness. Don't let the fire go out just because the journey gets long. Keep it alive. Keep it visible. Keep it sacred. Because the person who keeps their vision sharp will always outlast the one who just shows up without a reason. Let your vision be the fire that lights your steps and the map that guides your life. Gratitude is not just a feel-good emotion, it's a transformative daily practice that grounds your perspective, lifts your spirit, and resets your soul. And in a world that constantly pushes you to chase what's next, it's gratitude that brings you back to what's now, reminding you that abundance begins not when you have more, but when you recognize what you already have. Every day, before you rush into your goals, your to-do lists, your ambitions, take a moment to pause and notice what's right, what's working, what's beautiful, and what's already unfolding in your favor. Because without that pause, success starts to feel like a treadmill. No matter how fast you run, you never feel like it's enough. Gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to sufficiency, from stress to strength, from pressure to presence. And that shift is essential because you cannot grow from a place of lack. You only grow from a place of appreciation. When you focus only on what's missing, what's broken, what's wrong, you attract frustration, resentment, and burnout. But when you operate from a grateful heart, you unlock joy, peace, and momentum. Not because your circumstances are perfect, but because your perspective is powerful. Gratitude doesn't mean you stop striving. It means you stop struggling in your striving. It reminds you that progress is happening even when it's slow. It reminds you that you've survived things you once thought you couldn't. It reminds you that right now, in this moment, you have more than someone else is desperately praying for. And that truth humbles you, sharpens you, and softens you all at once. Gratitude is emotional fuel. It recharges your mental and spiritual batteries so you can show up with full presence, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of fullness. Gratitude is emotional fuel. It recharges your mental and spiritual batteries so you can show up with full presence, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of fullness and fulfillment. A grateful heart doesn't just feel better, it performs better. It makes you more patient, more resilient, more creative, and more connected. And the irony is, the more you appreciate what you have, the more life seems to give you. Gratitude attracts abundance, not because the universe suddenly gives you more, but because you finally recognize how much was already yours to begin with. That awareness opens your eyes to opportunity, beauty, and blessings you would have missed had you only been focused on what you lacked. So make it a daily habit. Write it down, speak it aloud, meditate on it, pray on it, whatever it takes to cultivate that inner posture of appreciation. Because when your heart is grounded in gratitude, your goals become an expression of your joy, not a cure for your emptiness. You stop chasing to prove something and you start building from love. And in that space, everything you touch grows, not just because of what you're doing, but because of how you're doing it. Let gratitude be your foundation, your quiet strength, your reset button, your daily anchor. Because when you lead with gratitude, you don't just live better. You live deeper, fuller, and more powerfully aligned with the life you're meant to create. Your skill set is your personal toolbox for creating value, solving problems, and rising above the noise. And in a world that's constantly evolving, standing still is the same as falling behind. Because if you're not improving, you're declining, plain and simple. Every single day is an opportunity to sharpen your sword, to build your edge, to stretch your capacity, not just for success, but for significance. Too many people wait until they need a skill before they start developing it, but by then it's already too late. The doors have closed, the opportunity has passed, and they're left wondering why others moved forward while they stayed stuck. Growth is never accidental. It's intentional. And mastery doesn't happen in a day, it happens daily. Whether it's learning a new concept, deepening your understanding, refining your technique, or simply showing up with more precision, every action compounds. 1 page read, 1 hour practiced, 1 question asked, 1 mistake learned from, it all adds up. That's why you must treat every day like a training ground, a place to get 1% better, to push past your limits, just enough to expand your ability without overwhelming yourself. Consistency beats intensity when it comes to skill development, because the goal isn't burnout, it's mastery. And mastery isn't perfection, it's progress with purpose. It's knowing that your value in the marketplace, in relationships, in leadership, and in life increases as your competence increases. Your skill set is your leverage. It's what allows you to earn more, lead more, serve more, and shape your future instead of settling for what you're given. But you must earn that edge. No one's going to hand it to you. That means reading daily, not for entertainment, but for elevation. It means learning not just from success, but from failure. It means practicing deliberately, pushing through the boredom, the resistance, the repetition, because you understand that greatness is built in the boring. And when you commit to improving just 1% each day, the results don't just add, they multiply. That tiny edge compounds over time until you're not just better, you're different, you're rare, you're undeniable. But the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you begin to fall. Complacency is the enemy of excellence, and your past achievements don't entitle you to your next opportunity. Your current preparation does. So wake up every day with the mindset of a student, hungry to grow, humble enough to learn, and fierce enough to apply what you've learned, because the gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by skill, and skill is built by intention, repetition, and relentless curiosity. Don't wait for permission to improve. Don't wait until you're behind. Build your edge now. Sharpen your sword today. Because in a world full of noise and mediocrity, the one who masters their craft doesn't just survive. They lead, they influence, and they win. Your relationships are the foundation upon which true success is built, and no amount of achievement or wealth can fill the void left by broken or neglected connections. So every single day you must invest intentional time and energy into the people who matter most, because success without meaningful relationships is ultimately hollow and unsatisfying. It's easy to get caught up in chasing goals, deadlines, and personal ambitions, but if you neglect the bonds that nourish your heart and soul, you risk isolation, loneliness, and regret. Relationships thrive not on grand gestures or rare moments of celebration, but in the small, consistent acts of presence, kindness, and attention that often go unnoticed, but are profoundly impactful over time. Speaking life into others means more than compliments. It means encouraging, uplifting, and believing in their potential, even when they doubt themselves. It means being a source of support and positivity when the world feels heavy. Listening with true presence requires you to put down distractions, silence your inner chatter, and genuinely hear what others are saying. Not just their words, but their emotions, their fears, their dreams. This level of attention builds trust, deepens connection, and shows that you value the person beyond surface-level interactions. Relationships are dynamic. They need regular care, communication, and commitment, just like any other vital part of your life. Ignoring problems or assuming relationships will maintain themselves only sets you up for disappointment. Instead, choose daily to be proactive. Send that message, make that call, share that moment, and create rituals that strengthen bonds. Remember that the quality of your life is deeply intertwined with the quality of your relationships. They are your support system, your source of joy, your mirror for growth, and your legacy. When you invest in relationships with care and consistency, you not only enrich your own life, but also create a ripple effect that touches others positively. So make the conscious decision each day to prioritize the people who matter, to be fully present when you're with them, and to nurture connections with patience and love. In doing so, you transform your relationships from mere acquaintances into lifelong alliances, and from routine interactions into moments of genuine connection, proving that true success is measured not by what you achieve alone, but by the depth and strength of the bonds you build along the way. Your character is the invisible foundation upon which every success, relationship, and legacy is built. Because who you are when no one's watching, when there's no applause, no audience, no external reward, defines everything about you and your future, and every single day presents a test of your integrity, a chance to prove to yourself that you are honest, reliable, and consistent in living by the values you claim to hold. Character isn't something you can fake or borrow. It's revealed in the small decisions, the moments of temptation, the times when shortcuts seem easier, but you choose to harder right instead of the easier wrong. It's in showing up on time, keeping your promises, owning your mistakes, and treating others with respect, even when it costs you. It's the quiet strength that builds a reputation, not just for who you seem to be, but for who you truly are deep down. Your reputation may open doors initially. People may give you a chance because of your credentials, your charisma, or your connections, but it's your character that keeps you in the room, that earns your trust, loyalty, and respect over the long haul. Without character, success is fragile. It crumbles when challenges arise or when scrutiny comes. But with character, you build a fortress around your life and your legacy. Because people learn to depend on you, to count on you, and to stand beside you. Building character is not a one-time act, but a daily commitment to align your actions with your words and your values. It requires self-awareness, courage, and humility, because sometimes being honest means admitting faults, being reliable means saying no when you can't overcommit, and living by your word means standing firm even when it's uncomfortable or costly. It's the slow, steady work of showing up authentically, of doing the right thing when it's unpopular, and of being consistent, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Character is the quiet voice inside that guides you when external voices shout distractions or temptations, reminding you who you want to be and what you're willing to stand for. It's a legacy that outlives titles, money, and fleeting fame, a mark that defines you for generations. So every day, ask yourself, am I acting with honesty? Am I reliable? Do my actions match my words? Are my decisions rooted in integrity? Because the answer to these questions will shape not only your present, but your future. Build a name you're proud of, one that reflects not just your achievements, but your authentic self. Because character is not just what people see, it's what they feel when they interact with you. And ultimately, it is your character that determines whether your success is temporary or timeless.